All right, so what we have is we're going to need to take off this system here. So first thing first, detach it. I think what we're going to have to do, because I want to be able to take this on and off, I think I'm going to have to put a new notch in this rudder, but do it in a way that's not going to easily come loose. So then I can take these unused ropes, throw them to the side. But for now, just grab your tools if you have Bonafide rudder on. I tied this in a way that I can take it off. We'll find a better way to tie this in the future. That's my thing. And this one, this has this little pull clip and I guess a spacer for the bottom, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna try to put it on the bottom, see if that works. That looks nice. Looks like it fit very, very nicely. Well, that was easy. I'm gonna check my steering real fast. Make sure it's put in the middle. And I accidentally pull that through. Nope, I didn't. So, those are there. Just want to make sure that we are, pulling that snugly. And I know you can't see it, but up there I can look ahead and tell that I'm pulling it good and snug. Sorry, this is not the best angle. Alright, take two. I did an entire install and basically lost the footage. So I'm going to try to do this again. So what I've done, you've watched probably a little bit of an install, but I had installed the Bonafide rudder system on my kayak, and so that's like part one of this install. But you don't have to get the full Bonafide kit. You just need a couple of items. So if you don't already have foot steering, you're going to need these add-ons to the foot braces if you're using a Bonafide. And you can see them, look on the screen here. I'll be showing you on the Bonafide website what part numbers they are. And they come with the, I forget what this stuff is called, basically the tubes and all. And you can watch any of the Bonafide rudder install videos that are online, and it'll show you all the details that I had videoed to show you. So apologies for that. So I had already, and I'll show you a picture of the Bonafide rudder here. I had already installed the Bonafide rudder system. So now, what did I do differently? All right, so now you see the kit. So let me show you what it looks like and how easy it is to install. Now, I took the liberty of doing this little mod here. I'm gonna find a wing nut to put on the back, but instead of just tying it each time, because my foot braces have that adjustment on the front side, I don't need any adjustment back here. So I put this stainless steel focus. It's not really focusing well. I put this stainless steel screw through the Bonafide rudder. I actually did the same thing on, sorry, the Bixpy rudder. Bixpy Bonafide. It's actually a Vibe rudder, but you get the idea. So this is the Bonafide rudder, and I did a similar thing from the bottom up, obviously, but yeah, it just gives me a quick and easy way to connect the actual steering cables. Now, So with that, they're connected obviously to my pedals up front. But what I was able to do was these cables here that are connected up front, and you've probably seen them already if you're paying attention, are these guys right here. So I'm gonna pull this out. Let me show you what it does. Yeah, and then when I release it, it does that. What I done is I took the cleat that came with the Bixpy kit and mounted it up here on the side. So I'm literally able to just pull that and lock it in place. Now obviously it takes more than that, but you can hear it back there, and it just locks in place, and I'll just stow it to the side when I don't need it. So no harm, no foul. Release it like that. There's some spring-loaded things. Now I don't know where to get these other than in the Bonafide kit. I tried, now obviously the knobs, you can use whatever for the knobs, but these pieces right here, I don't know where to get them. And I have just had trouble finding them. So I was gonna put them in a like a needed material kit, but I got mine when I bought the Bonafide rudder that came for the Bonafide Kayak. Well, it didn't come with it. I had to buy it separate, but I got it in the kit with the rudder. So yeah, so there's one on each side. So for the Bonafide rudder, you pull that one to lift, and you pull this one again to lower, and they're spring loaded to stay in there, which that one's kind of floppy, but you get the idea. They yeah, so they just stay like that, and I'm just multi-purposing basically, because there's going to be times that I don't want the Bixpy. I still want my rudder. So I'm actually making this kit to where I can just change it back and forth. Now, let me show you how this goes. Underneath, it's just a pin like this, and it literally, well, it's a snug fit, but you get the idea. It just lifts up out of there. So you disconnect your cables, you disconnect your cables and your ropes, pop that pin, and the whole thing comes off. So literally pretty simple setup. It's actually more complicated to put the Bonafide back on than it is to put this on, but it's not horrible either. I do plan to still use the Bonafide rudder for obvious reasons, but yeah, I like it. I like the Bonafide rudder. I was actually planning, let me just be transparent here. I was actually planning to modify the Bonafide rudder to do this. I thought I was ordering the DIY kit when I ordered my motor, and apparently that doesn't exist from Bixpy anymore, or it's just worded weird on the website. But what I thought I was getting in the do-it-yourself kit, I ended up getting the entire Vibe rudder. It doesn't say Vibe rudder, it just says the rudder, universal rudder kit, or universal, yeah, anyway, I'll show it on the screen. But it came with the entire rudder, which is great. It's not a bad rudder, but yeah, my plan was to put it on this, but I got that instead. So now I'm able to just swap rudders and I'm good to go. So whatever style that I really need to fish in, I just do that, and it just works. So now, so for those of you who follow me much, so I have been, you know, I've had like a power pole, not a power pole, but the Yakadget. I've got all the spare parts sitting here. I've been using this Yakadget Quickstop anchor, but now I've got to do something different. I think what I'm going to end up doing is something like this, putting it in line. But I got to really test that theory out first. I'm not sure how. I mean, that seems to work fine, but like where the pole falls might it might hit the motor, but I don't know. Or maybe I just, you know, keep it. I don't know, I'll figure that out later. You get the idea. So what do you need? What do you need with this kit? You need the Bixpy, obviously. And I'll show you on the screen when you choose the Bixpy, you can get this, you can add this rudder to it. This rudder actually does come with, one second. I'm missing a piece. It comes with a rope and a ball, just like those pull handles, and that cleat. I hate that. And then this is the tip of the rudder. If you don't have two rudders and you want to swap this back and forth, you can literally, it's 4 screws, and you can just swap that tip out. And I may try to do that if I get used to this rudder and I kind of like it. Because honestly, recently I'm finding out from some of you guys that there's like this monster rudder kit for the Vibe, and if it fits the same way, and I can modify it to fit the Bixpy as well. If this one ever breaks, it gives me that option. So I'm all about like retrofitting. So the rudder system comes with this attached to it. It comes with the rope for pull, and then it comes with this cleat right here. Now I did modify the cleat. I cut this edge so that I could pull it through like that, but when I didn't want to do this, I could pull it completely out and leave it where it's supposed to be, right here. Because if I'm using the Bonafide rudder, this cleat is totally obsolete. And then there's a ball. I don't see it. I don't know what I did with it. I probably dropped it somewhere around here, but it's just just like those ball bungees, the bungees with the little red ball in the end. It was just one of those that connects to this. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much all you need to know. So you need the Bixpy, the rudder, and then you absolutely need the foot steering kit from Bonafide. You don't have to have this part, but you will have that rope to pull it up and pull it down, and you'll be using this cleat. So it's up to you how you decide to do that or where to put it. I didn't like the single rope scenario. So if you've got a 127, you could put this cleat right here, put it down there, and do the same thing, just an up and a down, and that would work fine. If you've got a 107, then you don't have room. You still have the ability to do this with use these with the Bonafide rudder, but not the Bixpy rudder. Because what I noticed looking at pictures, you don't have this gap here. This part on the 107 is like right there. It's like right up next to it, so it's not gonna help you. I just don't think it will. You could try it at your own risk, you risk it, but this one is far enough, as you see it brings it to it, so you're able to get it up. But I don't know, the 107s are just this spot right here across. So I hope that makes sense, but just looking at pictures, it just doesn't look like this part will work using the pull ropes that way. But it doesn't mean that you couldn't step ahead and go into the hole some other way, or use, if I can't remember if the 107s have one of these. I think that might work. You could possibly use some other divot to give you some in-hole roping, whatever you want to call it. But to have this, but it does have the cleat, and there are some options there. The Bixpy kit comes with a Velcro strap on the controller. This controller is completely wireless. You put it on your arm, and it comes with the battery, which sits right there underneath my stuff. And Once again, apologies. I videoed all of this with nothing in the way, but now I'm like getting ready to go and realize I lost my footage. And then with the battery, it also comes with a kill switch, which is inside my box right now, because I literally am packed up and ready to get out on the water to try this thing out. No anchor system at the moment. I've got my anchor wizard on there. Obviously, it's just kind of, you know, dead off right there until I figure out what to do. I could still put an anchor off the side, drop it in my anchor wizard from there, but currently at the moment I'm just not planning on doing anything until I figure out that pole anchor scenario. All right, that is pretty detailed. So steering kit, it's about 59 bucks. I'll show it on the screen from Bonafide, and I'm talking like for the 107 or 127, just depending on what you're working with. Steering kit that connects to the pedals, and then the Vibe Rudder Adapter and the Bixpy motor, which you can buy those as a combo when you buy the Bixpy motor if you don't already have a Bixpy. And then you could just tie these to that, but you see what I did? I just like the ability to take it on and off. I hope that's detailed enough. If you got any questions, definitely hit me down in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you and answer in detail. So can't wait to try this out. Thanks, guys.